Hi, today, welcome to today's Spec Talk. We'll be beginning our conversation today with our experts that we have included on today's call. So we've got a few different folks with us today. We have myself, Alex Bear, I'm a strategic account executive at RIB SpecLink. We also have Dory Azar, who's a licensed architect and a strategic executive here with SpecLink as well. And we also have Holly Jordan on the call. She is one of our specification writers and consultants, and she works with several different types of clients to help them manage or maintain or develop their office masters. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of give you a quick update or a little bit of an overview of our company. Our RIB stands for Revolution in Buildings. We are a fit-for-purpose software technology company for the AEC industry. So we focus specifically on software technology for architects, engineers, manufacturers, building owners. We are a global company. Our company specifically is RIB SpecLink. Our company has been around for about 35 years now. We're the official software partner and specifications for the United States with the CSI, Construction Specification Institute. We also have clients and we are partnered with the CSC in Canada as well. So we work primarily in North America. We do have clients around the world in the UK, different parts of the Middle East, anywhere around the world that's using US-based, CSI-based specifications. And a little bit about us. So the people that we work with a little bit of everyone. So a lot of our clients are architects and engineers that are looking to write their specifications effectively and efficiently using our automated SpecLink specification software. We also have building owners that use SpecLink for their guide specifications and the maintenance and updates to their specifications that they share with their architects and engineers. We work with several building product manufacturers as well, as we have partnerships to maintain current information, which we can provide to our end users as well. So just as before we get started, just a little bit of a recap from our last session we had 2 weeks ago. Again, these spec talks are going to be every 2 weeks. But last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked a little bit about the education gap in specifications and the need for good specification software to automate the spec writing process, the formatting of specifications. A lot of firms are needing to do more with less and less time, and SpecLink helps us save our clients about 50% or more of time on specification writing while helping them to reduce RFIs and emissions and deliver more consistent, accurate specifications. We talked about some of the core features that are available in SpecLink, things like BIM integration, intelligent linking, we have real-time collaboration and automatic updates. And we really kind of discussed the core of the software and how it's used to leverage to automate and save time on specification writing. Now, today's core focus is actually going to be on office masters. So what we're looking to do is discuss with our experts here that we have on the call some of the importances of office masters. A lot of clients are using specification software, and our clients are using SpecLink, as I see it as an optimal tool for specification writing. But once you have a good software program, it's important to have your organization in place, because if you're working for certain repeat clients or certain jurisdictions or areas, there's a lot of similarities in those or design criteria that are requested by particular owners, for instance, as they need certain core design standards and products, materials. So Office Master is going to help you to deliver a more efficient and effective specification. It can provide extreme ROI for architecture and engineering firms and building owners that are looking to do project specification delivery faster and better and more coordinated and correct, so that the design intent's in there and the building is going into construction quicker, more effectively, with less construction change orders, RFIs, and extra expenses. So with that being said, I'm going to actually shift over to Dory, who is our resident architect here, and Dory has some questions that he's received over the past few weeks from you all, and he's going to kind of provide those or frame those towards Holly Jordan, again, our specification expert here, when it comes to Office Masters and the importance of Office Masters and how to set up good Office Masters. So Dory, would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thanks, Alex. Well done. My name is Dory Azar. I'm new here at RIB SpecLink, as well as I'm a licensed architect in Ontario, Canada. And yeah, just here to help spread some good information about spec writing at all different levels, from masters down. So yeah, I'm happy to be here and ready to get going.
Wonderful. So I know that there was a list of questions that we had. Did you want to?
I think we should give Holly. We're going to have Holly introduce herself just for a second to let us know her amazing credentials and why she's the one that should be telling us what we're here to learn today.
Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Holly Jordan, and I am the part owner of Jordan Consultants. We're a specification writing firm. I use SpecLink all day, every day. I'm what SpecLink people call a power user. So I do all kinds of different types of documents, masters, manufacturer guide specs, architectural specs, engineering specs, you name it.
All right, so now we get to hammer you with spec questions.
That's right.
You ready? You limber? You ready to go?
Yay.
All right.
I'm ready. He's going to try to stump me. Watch out, everybody.
No.
Go ahead.
I want you
coming
out smelling like roses by the end of this. So, first question I have is with regards to Office Masters as it relates to specs, and it's kind of a two-part question. The first one, what do you think people should be doing in their masters that aren't, and what do you think people should stop doing in their masters that maybe they're wasting time doing?
So one of the things that people should be doing is maintaining their masters, okay? So it causes RFIs, it causes more work when you don't maintain your masters. You don't keep them up to date, at least on a quarterly basis, in my opinion. I mean, you're not going to drive your car off the lot and not change the oil and put gas in it. So why would you, develop a master and spend all of the time to develop a master and then not maintain it?
Okay,
so that's
fair
my
enough.
first answer.
What on that note, what is a maintenance point that you might be referring to? Just give us one example.
Manufacturers that go out of business or don't exist anymore, products that are listed in a spec that have changed and don't exist anymore. I see a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
Okay, and then the second part of that same question, Holly, is what do you think people are doing but should stop doing because it's just maybe creating more work for themselves, or it's just not setting them up for success?
So I've had this conversation over the last few weeks multiple times about people asking me about creating a master. And people, firms will tell me, well, we have an education studio and we have a corporate and commercial and civic studio and we have a healthcare studio. So we need 4 or 5 masters. Okay. If you maintain and change something in one, you're creating extra work by maintaining. You're going to have to maintain all of them. So why not just have one master and maintain one master and use the software the way that it was meant to be used, to click on something and activate for a specific project type or a specific product. Now, if you need a section that is like really specific to a certain industry like science and technology, yeah, create that section, but keep it in one master. Maintaining more than one master, I've had that conversation multiple times.
Oh, okay. That's a good tip. I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
And just a quick question, because I know we've got about 122 people on with us right now. Now, in your practice, how would you say the balance of your clientele is? Is it more A&E firms? Is it more owners? Or is there another sort of silo of clientele that you carry? How the services that you offer, what is the percentage breakdown of that?
So we have a lot of our percentage is working with architectural firms and doing project specs. I have several clients that very large institutional clients that I maintain and update their masters. So we started out with those. We imported and updated their documents or created hybrid and linked documents. And now we have a maintenance schedule. And then we have a portion of our business, a smaller portion of our business that we're working on as we do manufacturer guide specs as well. And then I do a lot of work with SpecLink for their architectural clients, getting them in and set up and trained and help with that. So I have a lot of that as well.
So you deal with a lot of personality types, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Answer that carefully.
Engineers.
Remember, answer. Just maybe we shouldn't dive too deep into that.
Nah. Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody stepped into your life tomorrow and took away SpecLink from you.
No.
I know.
Let's not.
Hold on. What would you miss the most?
The interaction. I can comment, and our team members and our manufacturer reps can review our specs online. So there's a lot of coordination capability. It's faster once you have a little bit of a learning curve, and use it for the first couple of projects. You can. It's faster. It's a lot
Alex
faster.
is showing us right
I can
here.
put pictures. I can put pictures and links. So there's on the screen there's the tool that we use to talk back and forth. And I will tell you that our millennials and younger really enjoy the more digitized functions of this. Another thing is when you're using a Word document, if you take something out, it's gone. And if somebody changes their mind and they want to put it back in, then you're gonna have to type it in, right? But with a database software, if we change our mind or we want to add something like Alex is showing there, you can turn it back on. It's always there. Now you have a button up there where you can just show what's been activated. You have your normal view and your active view up there. So some people find it a little overwhelming to show all of the grayed out, and we just tell them, just push this little button up here and it'll only show you what is in the spec, what is activated there. So those are the things that I would miss the most.
Okay.
Do you, I'm sorry, Dora, I'm kind of jumping in here, but Holly, just curious. So as far as office masters are concerned, the clients that you're working with that use SpecLink, are they enjoying that sort of flexibility as far as being able to sort of nest their masters and pre-select things, edit some things, but give them the ability to sort of pick and choose and have that full master in the background?
Yes, yes. I mean, one of the most important things about a master is picking up the things that are important to your firm or important to the client. Some history. Or there was one person who I talked to last week who said, well, how can you tell what our content is? How can you put our content into the SpecLink masters? So that's really important, is having the history and what a firm's preferences are.
Okay. And do you use the notes feature as well to kind of capture some of that justification, or why they maybe want to prefer to use things just as a reminder to them?
Right, and I really like the notes feature. That there are different ways that you can do the notes. I personally like to use the notes in line.
Holly, I
showing,
think
but
you
you can
cut out
also
there.
use the notes pane. So I like for my
Okay.
masters inline in your use the note face, okay, and then I like to use the notes pane for pictures and links. That's kind of how I like to do it, but that's a decision that when you're developing a master, these are all discussions that you should have. How do you want your documents to look? How do you want your specifier notes? And I like the specifier notes because they're non-printing. They're always there. In a Word document, in the specifier notes, you either have to turn your paragraph markers on and off, or you have to like delete them so they don't accidentally show up. But this way, your notes are always there, either in the notes pane or in the body of the document.
So Holly, would you say, is it realistic
Sure.
for somebody starting out to get their master spec perfect on the first go, or do you find yourself or clients of yours making multiple visits back to their master to update it, to tweak it, as they're working on a project? Because for the architects and engineers in the room, we do that with our drawing templates all the time, right? It's a constant back to our master template, because next time I want this to be here, right, and that to be there. And do you find that with in your spec writing as well?
So specs are and should be living, breathing documents that should be kept up to date. I never stop updating my documents, and I recommend at minimum that a firm keeps their notes, use their notes pane, and if they're not going to update things, when they find something that they want to discuss, put it over there in the communication. Just click the plus there, Alex, on the right, and just put a note for discussion. So my opinion is that documents at minimum should be reviewed and updated on a quarterly basis, with the caveat that if there is an emergency that something really needs to change immediately, that it's changed. And if you use the software that it's the way it's supposed to be used, by putting these types of things in the notes like Alex is doing, you discuss it, you resolve it, and then you can print out a document and you have a record of what's been done. That's what I really love. I love that, because people say, why was this changed, or when was this done? And then you can print a sheet and have that a log of what the changes were, a log, right, of the communication back and forth in a master and on a project.
Do you ever use the notes section on the side for your own notes, like just, hey, I got to remember to come back and make this, like I don't have time to make this change now, or I'm waiting for information on this? So do you use it as your own reminders as well?
Absolutely, yes. Yes, for a question, for something that I need to go back to, for someone else to look at, because sometimes I put a note to myself in there, and then one of my team members can go in and look at the note and say, hey, I saw your note, this is how I like to do it.
Oh, okay.
So yes, I talk to myself all the time.
in and out of spec.
Yes.
So
yes.
Excellent. The big thing that we were pushing with this edition of SpecTalk was that you were going to come on today and teach us some of your insider tips and tricks on how you use SpecLink to your full advantage to make sure that you're getting your stuff done quickly and accurately. So we're about 20 minutes in, so we're good. But let's hear them. I'm excited to hear them. This is new to me. I haven't heard her tips and tricks yet. And I will remind everybody who's watching also that the questions are open. So if you want to start asking some questions in the fields there, we'd be happy to get to them when we've got some time. So Holly, let's hear some tips and tricks. What can you tell everybody here that's going to make their lives a lot easier?
So when you're creating a master, you can pre-edit a section. Okay, that's going to make it like really, really quick. You can activate the things that you always use all the time, and the things that you don't use all the time, they're still there. They're not deleted. And if you change your mind, or if something becomes more complicated, or you need more information, it's always there. Now on the blue items there, where there are choices on the choice fields, I always tell people that choose the choice that you use the most. Okay, so when I'm importing or when I'm adding choice fields, I always put the one that I'm going to use the most first, and then I'm going to use in order of where I think I'm going to use. And then another thing is lots of times I might want to add a fill in the blank. So I typically, on a lot of choice fields, if there are choices, I first use the one, list the one that I use the most and select the one that I use the most. But I also give myself a fill in the blank in my choice field, or a fill in the blank underneath where Alex is on the screen there, so that I can change my mind and choose something else. How about that? Does that sound like a helpful hint?
Of course.
Yeah.
And the questions are like exploding now. Everybody's chiming in with questions. So let's see what we got here. Is there a, I just want to pre-read these in case somebody's saying like really nice things about Holly or something like that.
Nah,
you know? So.
or really bad things.
No. Nobody's saying anything bad about a spec writer. We need you too much.
Yeah.
Job
security.
It's a good place to be. Is there a way in SpecLink to make revisions that are highlighted in printing? Once a spec book is released, if changes are made under revisions or addendums, we like to make changes stand out for the contractors/bidders.
I think you can like do the track changes, right? I mean, I use the track changes for mine.
Yep, that's right. So it'll show strike throughs and underlines.
Yeah. So the track changes feature, it works really well too. I use it all the time. There we go. He's showing it on the screen there. Ooh, that's a real mess. We might want to revise that one again.
That was an excellent question from Ben, who chimed in with that one. You want to do it, Holly? I'm going to make it your choice. You want to get to your next tip, or do you want to do another question? What are you feeling?
Hit me with a question.
Okay. Do custom project? This is a question from Michael. So Michael wants to know: do custom project notes placed in an Office master carry over when copying the master for a project?
Yes, they do. Yes.
That was easy. Okay, hit us with another tip now. I know you're one-word answers now. Okay.
Yes. I mean, one of my most helpful hints, and I think we talked about it before, is one master. Okay, and then use the checklist functions and the activating and deactivating functions to write your specs. Don't make more work for yourself by creating more than one master.
Right. Okay.
And do you use the tagging sort of just out of curiosity to kind of make discrete sort of indications, like if it's for schools versus healthcare and you want to have just one master? Do you ever use the curious?
You can use tagging. You can use notes. One of the things that here's another helpful hint: have an open mind. Think about what you want to do. There's always more than one way to do something. It's just a matter of how you like to do it and figuring it out, or asking someone else who's done something before. There's no wrong way to do something. There's always more than one way. Like the notes. I like my notes in the body of the document, and I use my notes pane for links and pictures. But some people like to use the note pane and put their notes there. Some people feel that notes in the body of the document, the inline notes, make it more bulky. They don't print, but they do show.
Okay. Why don't you hit us with another tip, Holly, or trick? Your call.
I just gave you one.
You want to go back to questions then?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to some questions.
I got to think about it.
No problem. We've got a bit of a longer one here from Matthew, so bear with me on this one. But he says, I've got a question about API usage. Is it possible that we could see a feature where we would see through the SpecLink API and Revit integration which specifications were marked as included or excluded for a specific design? This would greatly help our QC process, especially if we could also see the last edited date and person last edited by for a spec via the API. That's the question.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm happy to.
That is a
you want to go for that one, Holly?
No, go ahead, Alex. I think we need our guys who are like doing our guys and gals who are doing the software development. That's a question. That's a question for them. Yeah.
Matthew with the good and hold on 1 second, Matt. I think that's the same Matthew. That's elaborate. Yeah. In brackets, there's a question farther down that says, "I'm an internal software developer with Mott's Engineering," for reference. Big smiley face. So, thank you, Matthew's testing us today, guys.
Well, we do have some software integration tools, that will help to drive sort of coordination between the models. So you can upload one, and it will kind of pull from different pieces of the object, and it will look for things like the family name or the type name if you have a keynote or an assembly code, and it will help to kind of make suggestions. This is also the area that you can kind of determine what specs go in there. So in the same token, that would help you know if the specs are in there, but it's used to kind of maybe in the reverse workflow, but still gives that insight once you kind of go through the steps, if that makes sense.
Right. That was a good answer. Good job.
Fantastic.
And I'm developing a kind of a checklist that links back and forth. We're working on a checklist, kind of a more advanced table of contents where we can, at the beginning of a project, where we can use that and link this document to our specs so that we can make it turn things off and on. So I'm working on that for some clients right now.
Excellent. I'm going to just cherry pick a question real quick, because I think maybe we should have said it earlier, but the question comes from Zachary asking, who do we reach out to get training and support for master's development? And I think that's coming up at the end, if I'm not mistaken, Alex. We have a contact before we wrap up. We'll have a page dedicated to getting in touch with Holly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right.
So helpful hint. Can I give you another helpful hint? So one of the things that I get told all the time is take the time to look at some of the videos and information that SpecLink provides. The videos are great. Shout out to the amazing Gary Christensen. He does the training. Go ahead and take a look at those. Those will answer a lot of your questions. There's nothing but having a person who you can call all the time to ask questions, and I answer questions for people every day. But these videos and this information that's here, where Alex is showing you, it's really amazing, and you should utilize that, because every once in a while, just go in there and take a look at something, and you'll, every day just like learn a little something. Gary tells us to go ahead and open that screen in another tab and keep that available for yourself all the time, and that's not my helpful hint. That's Gary Christensen, our SpecLink trainer. That's his helpful hint.
Are we allowing that, Alex?
Sure.
Are we gonna let her piggyback off of somebody else's tip today? We'll let that one slide.
Hey.
I think we'll allow Holly to do that today.
Okay, that's your one pass.
I use that all the time. Okay, that's my pass for today. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Of course.
I have a question, actually, if I can interject for Holly. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you need to type that in the chat, sir.
Okay, I guess I'm not, yeah. So I was just curious, Holly, are there certain clients that are a better fit of a need for Office Masters? Like, is there a certain sort of, type of client, like someone that really works like specialty work, does a lot of their work focused towards K through 12, or what's the ideal, who wants to, hire you for their work? Like, what are the types of people that?
have various different it's firms that have studios specific to certain work, and we want to capture corporate memory. We have certain large entities, universities and churches and large developers that have things they want done a certain way. I have a lot of those. I think it's important to keep corporate memory. If you have one person who just knows and has everything in their head, but it's not documented in your documents, when I work with a client all the time, I know what they like.
Okay.
I just talked to somebody yesterday who changed firms, and I was like, I know you, right? I know what you like. I got this. I know that you like to use white countertops and black fixtures, okay? But I know that. But that needs to be put in your master for corporate for when I'm not there.
Okay.
Lord forbid, right?
Okay.
Or when I hire a new
So
spec writer to take over.
okay. You're kind of like a spec
That answer your question?
psychologist. You help them to know what they want to know and
Right.
help them understand it better and use it better for their projects. So that makes
Right. And once you've worked with
complete sense.
somebody, yeah.
We could
You
all
get to
benefit
know your
from a little bit
clients.
of
You pretty much know what their preferences.
Right.
Yeah.
Philip's got a question here that we're just going to backpedal a little bit for a question about notes. The question Philip is asking, can you repeat what you said about adding notes? You use a NP line as an editor's note to explain a choice or option, and then use the notes pane for links or pictures?
That's correct. That's what I do. I like my notes right there in my face so that I can see them as I'm going through and checking things off. So they're tagged as non-printing or non-selectable notes. Okay. So they have it's really cool. This was a game changer. This was an update a while back where when you put a note in the body of the document, it has these little dots, and you can see them. I do mine bold and italicized, so they jump out at me. And then, and like Dory said, I like to have links and pictures and more information in my notes pane.
Okay.
But that's not the only way to do it. It's not necessarily right or wrong. That's just my preference. And that's a helpful hint here is think about how you want your documents to look, how your firm likes their documents to work.
Yeah, and that's I think Philip was just circling back to something that you had said earlier. Right. So it's your opinion that they wanted. Okay. Next question here from Todd says, is there a suggested way to keep track of changes to specs and addendums during bidding? Create a duplicate spec in SpecLink, rely solely on PDF copy, etc.? So is there a suggested way to keep track of changes?
I've been toying with that. So I've been toying with that, and one of the things is we do the track changes, and then we put a comment. And so I leave the track changes on for documents that are changed, and then in the notes on the side on the commenting pane over there, I put a comment and say change at addendum 2, addendum 1, whatever, and then that way I can resolve that. But I can also go back and print out a log of what those comments and what those changes are. Because a lot of architects they do a change log that goes with their addendums, and so that's something that you can kind of use it that way. Is put the notes in there. You can resolve the notes, or you can leave the notes there for people to see what was changed. Because sometimes in the next addendum you're going to accept the changes and then start over with new changes. So I utilize my commenting feature for that, because I know that they'll always be there and they'll have a log. That's how I do it. But I'm open to suggestions if somebody else is doing it a different way. There's never a right or wrong way to do anything.
that is such a beautiful segue, Holly, because the next question, well, it's close enough to call it a segue. Let me read the next question.
Okay.
I hope I'm not pronouncing this name wrong. It's Renell McClure. The question is, how do you get feedback from SpecLink users to know what needs updating and changing in the Office Master? Do you have a project set up for feedback, an Office Master, email, or something else? So, question is, if somebody wanted to provide some feedback to SpecLink, and this is probably a question for Alex, what is in place to get user feedback?
Sure. So we, I've been with the company for about 15 years. One of the reasons I really like working here is because we really do listen to our clients. So
They do.
I mean, we take feedback very seriously. So if you let us know there's something, especially if you can give us the why of like, I want this feature because, in XYZ workflow, I need, this or that. We'll throw that up to the top of the chain. So we're constantly developing the software. It's never, it's very mature, but there's always room for improvement to, help people better manage their specs. So yeah, we will definitely listen to it, and a lot of times we will incorporate it into one of our next updates. We do updates about once every 6 weeks, so it's a pretty regular, process.
That's fantastic.
I have the CEO's cell phone number. I could text him.
I thought you said you were going to share it with everybody.
Yeah, here we go. No.
Next question. I have a paragraph with a choice field that needs to be in almost every section, but choice fields don't seem to copy between sections.
I thought they did. I do it. There's you might be like clicking the wrong thing. I think there's a copy paragraph, and you need to Control V and Control C and Control V. But I think you can do that.
Okay.
And paste the enhanced. You got to click the paste the enhanced text. I believe you can do that. I'll have to look into that though. That's a great question. We should investigate that, but I think you can.
Okay, Alex, is that what you're demonstrating here, or?
Yeah, we're just kind of rolling with these questions and seeing we're exploring and learning. So it looks like you can. You can I just added a quick option here.
Okay.
And it looks like I can easily just kind of grab with a right click on it. I can do copy choice. So it looks like you can.
Right.
And you can also open, different.
Yeah, you copy the choice and.
And that'll paste in a new section.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
And you can have different sections open to multiple browsers.
It's the one. Yeah, the second one, paste enhanced text is what you need to do.
All right. Next question here is going to be an easy demo question for you, Alex. Question comes from Brian, and Brian wants to know, how am I able to format the body of the spec? Example, spacing of various articles and subparagraphs.
Awesome. So yeah, that's a big, task. It's a part of spec writing, and can be a beast in word processing. So SpecLink actually makes it really easy. What you can do is, you can format sort of directly inside of a section, but what we actually have specific templates that you're able to set up. So within SpecLink, you can choose from different templates. You can create your own, but the template is actually going to sort of right size the entire spec to that spacing and style. So like if you use, Brian, like the AIA format, but you typically some sort of special spacing, maybe you bold the first few levels of indentation. You can create your own template by sort of, these are the levels of indentation, and you can see here as I make changes that it's going to give us a real-time print preview here at the bottom. So the bottom line is, yes, you absolutely can. The really good news is that it's a global thing. So you can, if you need to say at level 2 indent, I want, my indent to go out a bit. You can just sort of modify that right here, and that'll then totally, update the entire, so not just that paragraph, but anywhere that level of indent to that particular spacing or numbering scheme or whatever have you.
All right,
Yeah, so
that's
you create a custom template for if you have different clients, like we have different clients, you can create a custom template for each client and apply it to the project.
okay. Very good. We've got another question here that's specifically for Alex, asking, can you demo the @mention feature and show us the email notification? Also, what's with the vertical
Sure.
bar in the comment?
The vertical bar. Okay, so that is, there's some new things going on, new things brewing in SpecLink. The vertical column bar, if this is what you're referring to, is going to give you the ability to actually now set comments for sort of the level of priority. So you can set them for critical, high, medium, low, for instance. The new piece here is that when you do make a comment, if you choose the @ symbol, you can actually assign that comment to any of the users in your program, your company, and then you can add in your note. And when you do that, it will send you. It'll do two things actually. It will send you actually within the program. There's when you kind of open it up, there's now like sort of a queue that'll tell you, hey, go to these sections. Somebody wants to know, ABC, and you can then go in there. You can respond. That'll eventually get resolved, and then that'll kind of be removed from your personal sort of queue of to-dos or responses. The system does also send an email. I'd have to find an example of an email in my on my computer, and I don't know that I can do that in sort of a quick way, but you do receive an email that tells you kind of what what the comment is and who it was sent from. Now that particular feature with the email piece, here we go, here's an example. So you just get a quick email of what the comment is, who mentioned you, what project is it about, what section is it in, and then you can you just click on this button, view section and comment. You go right in there and respond to them. So now if that's a little bit intrusive, we've got some people that say, I just want the the sort of the notification in SpecLink, and I don't need that email piece. There's a setting you can sort of eliminate that piece if you just want it to be exclusive to the sort of the reminders in the program. But it's really good, and especially if you've got, like, you can assign. That's the great thing about SpecLink too, is it's all about collaboration. So you can share a project file with somebody even outside of your your company. So if you wanted the owner or a manufacturer to review something, you can assign a specific section to them so that they can review and comment. So that email piece can be helpful, especially for someone that's not using SpecLink on a day-to-day. So they'll get an email in their inbox that says, hey, we're on a SpecLink project. Can you come in here? Can you take a look at this, please, and review it and let us know your preference or where you want us to do in this situation.
All right, we've got another question here from Craig, and I think the answer to this is in my opinion, what's at the core of SpecLink is that working by inclusion. But I'll read the question here, and I'll see if you hear it any differently, guys. It says, I've heard that some work only in their master and export sections out to a project, and others say that they start a project in an empty shell, like an empty file, and import sections from their master. Which strategy do you use? And I don't think you can do either in SpecLink, right? Because it's all there, and you're just choosing to include it or exclude it.
Well, you can come in, and there is an ability to import from a project. So if there is a specific section from a particular project or from a particular master, you're able to kind of siphon in particular sections as sort of the starting template.
Yep.
So you can do that. You can make a copy of an entire master or project. Polly, did you want to kind of add in on that too?
Yeah, no, that's the correct answer. If you have a section that you've edited and you want to move it over, then you can copy that over. I mean, you leave your master as a master and you copy over. Lord forbid, should you copy the same project over and over and over again? But people do that. You can create a project from a project. So there's like lots of different ways to manage a project.
All right, we've got another
Yeah.
question. So what have we got? About 15 minutes left, and I want to thank everybody for hanging around this long. One of the questions here is, I don't know if we can answer it while we're on together, but it says, will you offer one of these presentations that focuses on BIM integration? And I will make sure that that question gets to the right person. I just wanted to acknowledge it there. What is this? So a question from Jerry. Jerry's asking, what is the simple way to uniformly and accurately add spacing between levels?
That's create a template. Create yourself
so that's
a
kind of going
template,
back
and then
to
it'll
what
always be there.
Okay, simple enough. Alex, do I need a separate? The questions coming in here. Do I need a separate license for external collaborators, like a specialty sub or the PM, for them to view the comment if they are tagged in the comments?
Sure.
No. So you only need a license if you're going to edit. Comment review, you do right. If you're going to not need to have a license for people and team members to review all the time, and that's a helpful hint. Utilize your subject matter experts and send them an invite and have them review and comment on your documents. It will only make your documents better.
All right, excellent. How are we? Is everybody still with us here? We still got over 100 people with us, guys. This is fan. You guys are like hardcore spec writers here. This is, or at least enthusiasts. This is great. Oh, this is an interesting question from Frank. Frank is asking, can you convert a spec into an office master?
Of course. Yes, you can import a document from Word into your masters. You can import from a project into your masters. So say you created a project and you edited and you added a bunch of stuff to a section in a project. You can go back the other way. You can like copy that back over into your master. So you can go either way, left or right. Yes, I do it all the time.
Okay. Just reading a couple more questions here. So Jerry is expanding on their question a little bit about the line spacing. It says, right, but it doesn't seem to be uniform in the template. Example, before level 1s is not always the same, and going from level 4 to level 2 seems not to be available.
It should be. And I think sometimes you got to play with it to see how you want it to look. But I don't see why it's not working. You do have to kind of, just like you would in a Word document, trying to figure out what your spacing is. I think you just have to play with it and see how it looks.
Okay. So another question here from Tammy. Tammy is asking, is there a way to add line numbers when printing, similar to a codified zoning ordinance? Our municipal clients prefer this on the pages. Right now, we have to export to Word, add the line numbers, then create a new PDF.
Right. So right now we don't. I know what you're referring to, Tammy. I'd see kind of the numbering of, to the left of each paragraph. That's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a quick way to sort of provide, a quick way to say, can you take a look at paragraph 63 kind of a thing. We don't have that right now, but it is something that we're aware of, and more clients are requesting that. So I think that'll be something that will be added to our, a good example of something that'll be added to our roadmap for development. I mean, that would just simply be a sort of an output option. So definitely I'll add that to the list of questions here today that we'll send over directly to our, our development team for sure.
Awesome. Let's get another one here. This is an interesting one. I don't know the answer to this one. So I would like to assign a status, priority, and progress % complete for each spec section. Do others employ such metrics to track progress? I'm tired of using other PM tools and would appreciate some PM capabilities in SpecLink.
I understand that one.
I hadn't thought about that. I gotta try that.
Yeah. Well, being on the software sales side, I've heard that a couple times, and we don't, unfortunately, right now. The only thing that we do, and we've thrown that up the chain, so we will mention that one too. But yeah, it would be a sort of a column inside of an added column here. It's where you can put the status. Is it still a pending section for continual editing? Is it something that's been completed? I think that's kind of the end goal. So I will re-mention that to our team. The pending, the comments that are pending. So if you add a comment to a section, it is a workaround, but you could come in here and say, section pending, left editing.
Yeah.
At XYZ, and you actually get more specific.
Yeah, use your
way.
commenting feature.
Yeah, and that way
and you can
kind
set
of
the
roll
status
up
of
to your
set
table.
your status of your comment. Yes. So set the status on your comment up there, Alex. You can do that. That's a workaround, but that would work.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so you can come in here and mark it as critical or sort of what level.
And it's going to show in the tree that there's a note.
Right.
There.
You can sort by sections with active comments.
Yep. There you go.
And it'll also show you just
there.
The full thing as far as.
Yeah.
We've got the structure moving and demolition.
Kind of a workaround.
Yeah, but it would show you at a high level, like we've got this in editing. I mean, assume, the workflow would be the assumption if there's no comment, then it's fully complete. And otherwise you'd leave some sort of a comment, to say this is where I left off kind of a thing. But we are working on a feature that will give a better sort of indication of, is it awaiting approval? Is it pending? Is it completed? That kind of a thing. And I'll throw that back up the recommendation letter for sure. Dory, are you still with us, or did you get underwater with the questions? And
no, I just clicked the mute button because
mouth is moving,
and I forgot.
You say.
I think that's how most people look at me, Holly. So I said we're approaching an hour. We've got 7 minutes left here. So why don't we conclude today with one more maybe tip or thought from Holly based on all the sort of themes that we've seen today. Maybe you can leave us with one more tip before we wrap up and tell everybody how they can get a hold of you.
If you have a question about whether it will SpecLink will do something or not, ask. If you play with it, think about what you want. Think about your end product, and that I always recommend that people when they're starting and they want to have we create like what I would call dummy projects, and we create a sandbox, and that's your sandbox project for you to go in and play with and see what it'll do. So don't just sit back and not ask a question or not try to do something or think, oh, it's gonna mess something up. Play with it and see what it'll do, or find someone to ask, or ask SpecLink. I asked a crazy question just the other day, and I got immediate response. So,
all right, this was fun. You want to do it again? Let's do it again.
Well, absolutely. So yeah, no, thank you everybody. I've got a screenshot up right now that does have the contact information for SpecLink along with Holly's contact information at Jordan Consultants. So we do work with her directly, and we have a lot of really happy clients that have software that they're comfortable with, that they've been trained on through SpecLink, easy to navigate, and they've got a great consultant within Holly that will help you get all the information, set up in those office masters so you've got good consistency. Higher risk of projects, the better, more importance of needing office masters. So larger clients, you're doing repeat work for K through 12 or multifamily residential. All those things are good reasons to have software and good office master organization. So we just really appreciate everybody's time today. We hope to talk with you more. If you want to set up, again, a one-on-one conversation with our company and your company, just feel free to contact us, again, with our contact information here. We do also offer a 14-day free trial of the system that can be set up for one person or 100 people within your company for that matter. And we will send out a follow-up email as well that does provide you with more information about our company, with Holly Jordan's information. Also, we will send out a little survey if you are available to complete that. That actually helps us to help you, so we're able to understand more about what topics you want to know about. We'll definitely, I'm sure, talk about BIM integration. So thank you to whoever that was that kind of asked that question earlier. I think that'll definitely be one of our next spec talks as they come up every 2 weeks. So again, greatly appreciate the interest, and thank you so much for your time today and interest in SpecLink and Holly Jordan and just evolving your specification. So we really appreciate it. Look forward to speaking with you soon. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks everyone.
Bye, everybody.